The National Weather Service, the Climate Prediction Center, NOAA, in my entire professional career has never kept their y-axis showing the temperature anomalies any higher than 3. And this year they had to bump it up to 4. What is that? That's degrees Celsius above average. Because right now some of their predictive tools are taking this El Nino up to historic levels. I do mean historic. This would be stronger than the strongest El Nino ever observed from humans, which is the one that we had back in 1877. Did that one cause mass famine and problems all over the world? It absolutely did. But you have to understand something. You cannot apply something that happened in 1877 to today. We have a different infrastructure. We have better food security. We have better supply chains. So no, I do not expect 50 million people to die from this. But it's going to be interesting as to how it shakes things up. Not during summer, during fall and winter and next spring. So let's figure this whole thing out. Do y'all know what an El Nino actually is? Because what's funny is I've watched numerous programs on television, including stuff like on the Weather Channel, stuff on other news broadcasts to try and explain what El Nino is going to do, and they actually don't know what it is. All they ever want to show you are ocean temperature maps. That's not it. El Ninos start right there. Those are called trade winds. They come out of the east and go to the west. And as they go out of the east toward the west all the time, they're almost always blowing in that direction. They take a bunch of warm water across the equator, which, by the way, this is like 7,000 miles of open ocean. Understand something, please. In fact, I got to address this. I'm so sorry. I'm going to do a breakout session tomorrow morning where I hope you ask me a ton of questions. I should leave enough time today that you can ask a ton of questions. You may not ask me if the world is flat. I got this 7 times from January to March. North Dakota, 3 of them were in your state. What? I get it. I've been there. It is flat. But I don't know who's convinced you that this should be the thing you need to think about right now. The map is flat because I have a flat screen. It was wrapped on a planet. Now listen, that's important because people are like, well, why is this not important? That is. This is tiny compared to that. Okay? You gotta see the distortion that happens. And what happens is, most of the time, the trade winds come out of the east and go to the west, and they pool all of this water over here. It's called the West Pacific Warm Pool. And for some reason, and we don't know why, okay? Don't ask why. We don't know why. Those trade winds, which blow that warm water, watch this animation, blow all that warm water to the west, they just give up. They quit. And the moment the trade winds stop, then the water responds. And as you go through summer, like we did in 2015, which was our most recent big El Nino, the warm water comes sloshing back across the open ocean. And it changes the temperature 1, 2, 3 degrees Celsius. They're going, well, what's 3 degrees Celsius? Across 7,000 miles of open ocean, we measure the heat content in exojoules. Understand? It's huge. So it redistributes upstream from the United States where the wind field is going, where the heat and momentum are going, and where the biggest thunderstorms are. The trade winds go backwards, and they're doing it right now as we speak. But their peak, you have to remember the namesake. El Nino's biggest push will be November, December, January, February. Not right now. It's going to be later. And if you really want to know what you should be watching in summer, if there is going to be an effect, because it's not in the United States, the spots you want to watch are shown on these 3 maps. Now listen to me carefully, okay? May, June, July, August, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. See them? That's the spot you want to watch. Indonesia, Malaysia, Papua New Guinea, the Philippines. You better watch China. You also better watch India. They're at the birthplace of this massive weather system, and they tend to have drought stress, big time. Correlation coefficient across Indonesia and India is 0.7. That you can make a prediction on. Look at the rest of the map here, though. The rest of the maps, look at the United States. You don't even see color across it very much until you get into winter, and honestly, it's still hard to see in winter. This is a tropical phenomenon, but it still has an implication that we have to discuss. So all this emphasis is put on these two graphics, and the country's going to talk about it. In fact, the last time we had one that was close to this size, even Chris Farley brought it up, right, on Saturday Night Live. And that's what's going to go on. There they are. We're talking about the prediction of an historic El Nino. We're watching right now below the ocean surface. So if you want to get yourself oriented, that's South America. That's Indonesia and Papua New Guinea. This is going down. This is called a Kelvin wave that's surfacing with temperatures right now already 5 to 8 degrees warmer than historical averages. When that gets to the surface, it's going to be big, but not a main factor right now. So what should you watch? I told you I'd give you some secret sauce. We've had a lot of fun joking about things, but right now, if you want me to make you a prediction for this upcoming summer, I need you to know what I spent my life studying. Everybody else is going to talk about that box, which is where El Nino happens, and how high this line goes. And I'm telling you, you need to watch this reverse C shape feature, and you got to watch Elvis.